Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another React video. And I'm going to be reacting to the Culprit swap, Nancy Drew, Treasure in the Royal Tower. And yes, this video was made by none other than Arglefumph. But before we get started, I want you all to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, turn on these post notifications so you won't miss a single upload. And with that in mind, let's continue. Or should I say, let us begin.
What if Nancy Drew, Treasure in the Royal Tower, had a different culprit? Unless I'm forgetting something, the culprit mainly does four things in the game. They destroy the library before Nancy arrives, they knock Nancy unconscious in order to steal Jacques' medallion, they lock Nancy outside for a bit, and at the end of the game, the culprit secretly follows Nancy to the treasure. I feel like any of the characters could have done all those things. It's not like only Lisa could have smashed the library, or only Hotchkiss could have locked Nancy outside. So what if Dexter Egan was the culprit?
That's going to be interesting.
He is the meanest person in the game. He's got a sketchy past, which includes a criminal record. Also, he's the only character who's actually been in the Queen's Tower before. Just want to point that out. Presumably, he knows there's a valuable treasure hidden inside. He came back to the castle in order to find it. This will be his last crime before he retires. And if he doesn't find the diamond, he can still steal the painting and gold stuff from the tower. I'm sure it's valuable. In fact, let's say that's the reason he destroyed the library. He is planning to rob the tower, and he's framing somebody in advance for the theft. Of course, the game would have to change the minor scene of Dexter in the library in order to match. Nancy sees Dexter messing with the hole in the wall. She's not sure if he's looking for something or if he's planting evidence. She looks into the hole to find one of Jacques' hope boxes. It's locked with a puzzle. Something Jacques says when Nancy talks to him in the basement gives her the clue needed to open up the box. Inside is the key to the tower. The rest of the game plays out as normal, until the ending, where Nancy finds the diamond. Dexter appears with a villainous monologue. "Kid, I knew you were trouble the second you walked into the lobby. I'm here for the diamond. You think this dump pays me enough to freeze my tail off all winter? To babysit broken elevators and bratty tourists? Please. Marie Antoinette isn't the only person who is trapped here. I hated this place as a kid, and I hate it even more now. Her diamond is my ticket to a retirement far, far away from here." Dexter pulls out an electrical device and says it's the one he used to stop the elevator earlier. He presses the button, and all the power goes out. Nancy has to solve a puzzle to partially restore the power so she can escape and stop Dexter. What if Professor Hotchkiss was the culprit?
I find it very interesting that I find it interesting that Dexter could have been the culprit, basically because his motive is that he really dislikes being in this Royal Tower Hotel shenanigans. I don't know what you call it, but basically he calls it a dump for a reason. And what makes it so baffling is the fact that the only reason why he's searching for the treasure is because he wants to get out of that place once and for all. Although it kind of sucks that he dislikes it, but it does give a reasonable motive of him to, at the very standpoint, to try to look for the treasure and get out of the tower once and for all. Now let's see what he has to say about Professor Hotchkiss and what her motives are.
Hotchkiss isn't just researching Marie Antoinette, she's obsessed. When she learns that Marie's lost diamond is in the castle, she figures she's the only one worthy of having it. Nobody else could possibly appreciate its historical significance. Her erratic behavior becomes more of a calculated cover. No one will ever suspect her because she's the silly woman who doesn't know people's names and never leaves her room. Clearly, her 3 a.m. office hours are just an excuse. It's a cover story, so she could snoop around the castle at night without being noticed. Hotchkiss did not get very far in her search for the diamond. She used her medallion to find the message on the wall, not knowing there were 2 other medallions. She ended up getting so mad she destroyed the library out of sheer frustration. She learns about the other medallions when she sees Nancy get one from Jacques' locker. That's when she knocks Nancy out and steals the medallion for herself. Frustrated when it doesn't help her, Hotchkiss makes a minimal effort to hide it under a pillow in her room. Marie Antoinette's secret journal is less of a help to Hotchkiss and more like a giant distraction. When Hotchkiss still can't find the diamond, she secretly follows Nancy to the tower. So this is the Royal Tower. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, I could stay here forever. You see this diamond? Everyone else sees a shiny bauble, a mere trinket to be sold for money. I see a symbol, a woman persecuted, erased, and silenced by time. This diamond is the last voice Marie Antoinette has left, and I will not let it fall into the hands of those who are unworthy. No, Professor, you can't take the diamond for yourself. It belongs in a museum. Oh, dear. I'd hope that, as my apprentice, you would understand how important it is that I keep this diamond. Let me tell you something, Miss Grew. I will not let a powerful woman's legacy be reduced to a museum placard. When Hotchkiss tries to escape, the tower door's locking mechanism jams. Nancy is forced to solve a puzzle to open it. This puzzle matches the diamond cipher from Hotchkiss's room. I always thought it was weird that the cipher wasn't an inventory item, so in this version, Nancy does take the cipher with her in the inventory. She has to use the clues to arrange several symbols in the correct order. Hotchkiss reluctantly agrees to give up the diamond, and she writes her book about Marie Antoinette from prison. What if Jacques Brunet is the culprit?
Okay, so just like Dexter, I find it very interesting that Professor Hotchkiss is obsessed with the Marie Antoinette legacy or something. I don't know. And she found the diamond, but she wants to take it for herself because she considers herself as worthy instead of having it placed in a museum. And despite everything, it appears that in that scenario, if Professor Hotchkiss was the culprit, then she would have agreed to give the diamond back and write her story in prison. Which is like, you know. But let's find out what he has to say about Jacques Brunet.
Jacques' motive isn't greed. He wants to restore his family's honor after his terrible performance in the Olympics, and soon, before he's sent back to France due to his visa problems. There would be more talk of Jacques' fiancée in this pathway. If the game was made during the Thornton Hall era of Nancy Drew games, I bet Jacques' fiancée would have made a surprise appearance near the end. Jacques worries Nancy is getting too close to finding the journal, when he wants to be the one who finds it. That's the real reason he knocks her out and refuses to talk to her for the final third of the game. Later, he can't resist locking her outside when he sees her leave the building. I think the original book has a scene where the culprit tries to break into the Royal Tower from the outside. I kind of like that idea. I'm not sure why Nancy does not see the outside of the tower in the parts where she's outside the castle. Let's say Jacques uses the ski lift rope to climb the outside of the tower and enter through a window at the top. Just like Rapunzel's hair. He desperately searches the tower for the journal, not knowing there's a diamond hidden in the tower. That's when Nancy arrives. Nancy, please. I did not want you to see this. You think I am a bad man? No. I am a man in love. A man with no choices left. Okay, I'm sorry. I cannot do Jacques' voice at all. Jacques' ending definitely has to include a ski challenge. I am a sucker for puzzles where you do a harder variation of an earlier puzzle, So let's say she's doing the ski lift puzzle with 4 levers instead of 3. Thanks for watching my video. Leave a comment letting me know what you think. Did you like me doing the culprit speeches in this one, or should I stop doing that?
Don't stop now. Keep going. But that's the end of that video for some reason. And I have to say, I don't know what it is that I'm trying to say right now, but I will say is this. I am deeply liking this video series that he did so far. So basically, in Jacques' motives of wanting the diamond is to basically um, try to, like, he's doing it for love, is what is mentioned. Um, his visa is going to get expired, and I believe, for what I can gather or realize, is that the diamond is like the only source of income that Jacques Brunet can do. This video is very short, even though this video was 7 minutes and 39 seconds long. But this reaction video, well, it's not too short. I don't know what I'm thinking, but it's like I'm trying to figure out certain things. But what I can gather right now is the fact that what we do know for sure is that these 3 suspects, minus Lisa, who is the main culprit of the game, of course, basically have a motive to wanting the diamond in the first place because it's worth a lot of money. But for Professor Hotchkiss, it's more than just the value. It's some sort of legacy of Marie Antoinette's. While the other 2 guys is basically for money. For Dexter, he needs to get out of the tower, or technically the castle, because he doesn't like it there. And then in Jacques' case is to possibly, in my theory, or what I can gather, trying to sell it to get a visa so that he won't have to go back to the France because he's in love with someone. It's definitely unclear because it's been a while since I played that game. But what I do know for certain is that everyone has a motive of doing something that they should not be doing. But I don't want to spoil it if you haven't played the game. But if you have, you already know that the real culprit was Lisa. And I don't remember what it is that of Lisa's motives is. But I can guarantee you that even though I like to revisit of this game, but I'll probably look up the info at Wikipedia at some point. But regardless of that, that is it for today's reaction video. There's going to be another one soon. But please leave a like if you enjoy this kind of content, and also subscribe to the Miss Sensational Gaming channel, which I already mentioned before. But just in case if you didn't hear me for the first time, I will say it again. Leave a like and subscribe. Turn on these notifications so you won't miss a single upload. And I'll see you all in the next video.